All right, guys, this is our weather and astronomy test review. You do get an extra 10 points if you bring it back before the test on Monday with a parent signature. So we're going to match the keywords to either star, nebula, or galaxy. So first one is cloud of dust and gas. That's going to go under nebula. Luminous. So luminous means bright. The only things that are bright in the sky and that reflect their own light is going to be a star. System of millions of stars. A system is going to be over here. I'm just going to put systems of stars. A star nursery. So nebula are make stars, so they call these the star nurseries. Temperature. So that's going to be over here. Stars have different temperatures depending on their color, like the sun. That stuff also going to be over here because the sun is a star, our star. Disk of stars. So a galaxy is commonly referred to as a disk, like kind of like a frisbee almost. A collection of millions of stars. So anytime where we have more than one star, we've got, that's part of the galaxy. Nuclear reactions. So nuclear reactions occur, and that's how we get all of our energy, our light, our heat from stars through nuclear reactions. Generates own light. So I'm going to stick that in over here. You can even put it down here. Generates own light. That's definitely a star. From dying stars. So nebula can also be formed from dying stars as they supernova. All that dust and gas goes out to create new stars later. Okay, so here in this HR, we're going to label the following words. So blue giant. So I know that y'all's is in black and white, but you should know that the blues are over here. So, and they're giants, so they're going to be at the top. So our blue giants are here or towards the top. White dwarfs. White is right after blue when it comes to here. And they're dwarfs, so they're down here. They're super, super dim. Red supergiant. So our red is one of our coolest stars. And so they're going to be all the way over here on the right side, and they're supergiant, so they're going to be at the top, meaning they're going to be very bright. Our red giants are going to be here. Red giants. Main sequence. Now this is where most of the stars are going to be considered main sequence stars. About 80 to 90% of the stars that we see in the night sky are main sequence, which means they're average to medium-sized stars. And we've got temperature, which is going to be over here. And luminosity, which is going to be here. Remember, you need to know that luminosity equals brightness, how bright it is. This one over here are also main sequence as well. So just so that we know, main sequence goes all the way this big, long, diagonal ones. Again, all average to medium-sized stars. We are also going to label where the sun is. So the sun, we need to know that the sun has a luminosity of 1. So I'm going to come right across here. We also need to know that it's between these two areas right here. So right around in here is going to be our sun. Again, it's the main sequence. I didn't draw that blue thing so great, but the dim stars are going to be down here at the bottom. So we'll put dim, and the bright stars are going to be all the way up here at the top, bright. The hottest stars are going to be over here, and these are going to be our blue stars. And then our coolest stars are going to be over here, which are going to be our red stars. Characteristics of our sun. We need to know the characteristics of our sun. Our sun is, the color is yellow. We've been drawing it that way since elementary. Luminosity is 1. Not necessarily just in the middle, just 1. Please make sure you know that. The temperature is about 5,500 degrees Celsius. It is a main sequence type of star. And because it is a main sequence type of star, that means it's an average to medium-sized star. And we need to know where our sun would be in our Milky Way galaxy. We are not in the middle. We are not on the edge. They say we are near the edge. So if the edge is here, I'm going to say we are right here-ish. We are definitely not in the middle or on the edge. So we're near the edge of a disk-like galaxy. Disk-like galaxy. What's going on? Smartboard. Okay.
All right. Why can't we feel the heat or use the light from other stars to see? The sun is actually...
Okay, wait, why can't we feel the heat or use light from other stars to see? It's because the sun is located 1,000 or more times closer. Not because it's bigger, not because it's brighter, not because it's hotter. It is closer than any other star. That's why when you go out during the day, you can't see any other stars except for the sun. We can only see them at night. So we don't get heat. You're not going to get starburn or anything like that. Number 2, why do scientists use telescopes that record different wavelengths in order to study objects in space? So we have talked about all of the different wavelengths that we use to study all of these stars. We use infrared. And those infrared tells us certain things about the stars. We use the ultraviolet light wavelengths. We use the visible. And so remember the picture that we showed you of like the bird, and one was infrared and one was the regular picture. We can get a variety. Sorry, that's a T, not a D. We can get a variety of information from different wavelengths. We get a variety of information from each of those wavelengths. So scientists have all of their telescopes out there that have different capabilities of accepting those waves, and we can learn new things about the stars. Describe how redshift helps support the Big Bang Theory. Well, we learned this week that the redshift means that objects are moving away. When NASA looks at those spectrographs and those lines have moved toward the red side, which are the longer, less frequent, lower energy waves, we know that those objects are moving closer. If they were moving, if they were going toward the shorter, more high frequency waves, then it would be blue shifting. That's not what's happening, it's red shifting. So the Big Bang Theory states that all matter in space exploded and started moving away from each other. And the fact that the objects in space are still doing that, they are still redshifting, that tells us that the Big Bang Theory is very likely how the universe was formed. Explain what the Big Bang Theory says about the formation of the universe. Oh, I just kind of said it already. It says that the universe started with an explosion of all matter in space. We lower the emission spectroscopy for 4 elements. The scientists has found an unknown element of which of the following is most likely the element found. Sorry, I can't talk today. So these are like the ones that we looked at in lab with the light bulbs. And this one is sodium. It's kind of hard to see on this. So it's got the lines right here. We didn't do it in color because we couldn't print color for you guys. There's hydrogen, there's calcium, and there's mercury. So what we're doing is trying to match up what these lines are to the best that we can to what these are. Well, clearly this one's a thick line here. I don't see any thick lines over here, so that one is not gonna match. Here I've got 1, 2, 3, a thick one, and then one way over here. I see 1, 2, I see a thicker one, and one over here. So this one looks like a good match, but let's just double check the rest of them. Here I see 2 thin and a thick, and that's definitely not gonna match what's over here. And then there are a bunch more here in the middle, definitely not matching what's over there. And this last one down here, it's definitely not a match as well. There are way too many lines there. So our best answer is going to be that this is a sample of hydrogen. Explain what conditions in the ocean will create and or strengthen hurricanes. Well, in order to strengthen a hurricane, hurricanes require warm water. Typically, it's going to come from the
In order to strengthen.
or create or strengthen. You have to have warm water, which comes from the equator, and it goes up with the warmer ocean currents. You also need low pressure. So if you are creating or strengthening hurricanes, the only two things that will do that are warm water and low pressure. That's why we don't see a lot of hurricanes over on the west coast by California and Alaska and Seattle, because that's a very cold ocean current over there, and so warm. There's not enough warmth to create that storm system. Why does Florida have much warmer, humid weather and more storms than California? It's the same idea. Oh, I was interrupted. Why does Florida have much warmer, humid water with more storms than California? Well, we know Florida is on the east coast, and it's very humid. It has a very warm ocean current. I'm not going to try to draw Florida, folks. But this warm ocean current that comes up along the coast of Florida, it also goes into the Gulf of Mexico, which is why Louisiana, Texas, and all of the Mississippi, that's all very warm and humid as well. California, on the other hand, is over here on the west coast, and there is a cold ocean current running next to California. Comes from up near Alaska, and so that has a very cold ocean next to it. Well, just like when you're in the bathroom and you turn on the hot shower, the inside of your bathroom gets very warm and humid and muggy, and your window gets, or your mirrors get all foggy. That's why Florida is like that. So the warm ocean currents cause a warmer, wetter climate.
Okay, guys, so now we're just going to do our weather map symbols. So we have for a cold front, looks like this. It looks like icicles. And our warm front looks like little suns. Our high pressure is usually a big H like that, and our low pressure is an L like that. So what this means is that we've got obviously colder weather approaching. It's going to go in that direction. Here we've got warmer weather, which also usually means, and it's going in that direction because it's pointing there. I'm just going to come here because I still have the red. This usually means lousy, wet, humid weather. When you see a low pressure, because it's all warm air, H is going to be high pressure, and then it's going to be high means dry. We say this is happy weather, nice and clear skies, That should about do it. All right, guys, please remember to get a parent signature for your 10 points. It does have to be turned in before the test, which is this Monday. Study, study, study. There's going to be 20 questions. Know your stuff.